when you negotiate, this goes beyond design now. When you negotiate, two things for the negotiation to be successful, two things have to happen. One is that one party will feel that they have cheated.
Hi everybody, welcome to the pod. Thank you very much for listening to the previous episodes. Thank you very much for sitting on this episode. Today's episode we have Kingsley and Sophisticated Dev. Sophisticated Dev, we all know who Soph Dev is. Personally, Soph Dev was a mentor. It was one of my mentors in Zuri internship back in 2021. I was really, really excited. I think I was like one of my first experiences joining into like design, and it was awesome. It was really, really nice. So it's good to have you here on the course of the like one-on-one and like trying to ask specific questions about this topic. You know, thank you so much for being here. So before we get started, like into other things, this is like brief introduction for many people who don't know you, who listens to the pod, stuff like that. That would be helpful.
Okay, I'm not very good at introduction, but my middle name is Kingsley. I'm a product designer. Currently doing design at Finance Bank. Product design for about 3 to 4 years now. People in different, not to, that's just a short bio.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. So as we get into like questions and stuff, as you listen, may you be blessed. Yeah. So just to start off like really, really slow, what's your day like? Because I know you're a really busy person. So like what's your day like?
My day is different. So the day is basically, let's say typical Monday morning. Wake up, go to the gym, come back, cook, do more work, do meetings, do more work, then have meetings to close the day. So I have a lot of meetings actually. I think my day is meeting, or even sometimes and I think it comes with the role and responsibility because many other companies are teaching businesses for you to bring into a team and a lot of things. Checking on other engineers, checking with you, checking with PMs, checking with engineers. So doing that, doing a little design work, doing a little I was also to mention cooking.
Okay. Interesting. That means you cook.
I cook almost every day.
Oh, nice. That means you don't buy food like most of us do. As
No, I don't buy food.
Okay, nice. So like this, you have gathered a wealth of knowledge from design. How do you evaluate your work? So the questions I have are in three segments. So there's a segment for valuing your skills, there's a segment for disagreements, and then like there's a concluding segment. So now on the segment of valuing your skills, right? How do you consider your skills are worth charging for? How do you like validate that?
So I think for you to know, okay, so when people meet me to ask how much you are, right? I never tell anybody the amount they have to charge. And this is because you can tell someone to charge a particular amount and the person will feel that she is up to that level. And charging that amount will make the person feel bad and make the person not feel maybe be afraid the person will disappoint or will not get the value across. So I tell people to focus on how much you are comfortable to collect. This thing I call value is you that place it on yourself because if you are comfortable to collect 100,000, right? That's the value that you place on yourself and on your work. you can't drag the same drag someone for placing a value of, let's say, same work. Even your own may be better, but someone may say, I want to take 1 million for that. So when you talk about value and how you say, okay, this, I think the question you want to ask is, how will I know that this is the amount I should be charging? How will I know that I've gotten to this level? How will I know that this is the amount I should be charging, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's what it's leading to. Like the next question that line is, what metric do you use for that?
Okay. Okay, so I think I can't answer the first one without going into the second thing because they are all linked together. Because for your value, for you can't just know. You have to start. And most people started with free work. I did free work. And that's what your value is at that time. It's not that your value is free. Your work is free, but for you to get ahead, you want to do some certain things. And the work that you do, it's not that you don't know how to do good work, but it's not gotten enough experience in terms of charging. Because experience for work is experience for negotiation and charging because those are two different. Some people may have like years of experience and will not negotiate. So those are two different things. And the person will still keep getting more fast and putting in a lot of work, complaining that the student is making any money from it. And someone that doesn't know how to work, know how to negotiate. So the value is not about what you are doing. It's not about the design you are, or the work you are given. It's about what you feel you are worth. Sometimes it doesn't have. So you cannot say, I'm doing a beautiful design now, so I'll charge 10 million. I'll charge 1 million. I'll charge 100,000. Right. So it's about what you feel you deserve and how you calculate your time.
Okay, so the question is, what metric do you use, like personally, to say this is what I would charge? This is the range of how much I would collect for my work.
When you ask of metric, I calculate work according to time. So basically, I have how I charge and depending on the client. So there are so many things that are important when charging. The type of client, the type of project, the funding of the project, the time that you take to complete it. So I think I have a list of 8 things I do when negotiating, or maybe later I can explain each of them and
Okay.
talk about them. But this is how I go about understanding. So if I know that okay, this project I'm about to work on got funding, then negotiation will be different. The way I talk about value the project will be different. If it's a project that has the so I don't usually ask for budgets of a project, except when absolutely necessary. I don't ask for budgets because I ask for what I feel I'm worth, and then we negotiate from there. Because most times I found out that it does not help anybody. It just because you can say, okay, what if I don't ask for budget and I'm charging lower than what I'm supposed to charge? If that's your fear, you should not be charged. You should that higher. You are not worth it. You should charge what you. That's why that's taking me back to charging what you feel you are worth. Because
Yeah.
either charging higher or lower, the budget should not be your concern. Your concern should be getting what you are worth. So I usually calculate the time, mostly time, and divide it by my hourly rates. Then I'll multiply it by the time that it will take and send to the client. So that's how I calculate mine. But there's a lot of things that go into getting an understanding of how I will charge. It's not only the as I mentioned earlier that I add into negotiation, into pricing.
Okay, you mentioned that there are like 8 things you do that we'll talk about later, right? So I'm just putting that out there. So yeah.
No, you when you want us to talk about it, it's just about negotiating with clients. You should do things that you shouldn't do
Okay.
when negotiating with clients. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll talk about it down the line. So now, my next question, on this, on the same place is, what are like your most successful negotiations? If I know you have successful negotiations, how do you define a negotiation or like a money discussion with a client has been successful to you?
When the money gets to my account.
It's not based on if they agree on the price.
No, see, that's the thing. I don't. If you agree, it's not my business. If you agree, that's fine, right? Till the money gets into my account. So that's how I do. I charge 50% upfront and 50% um out of the work. I don't charge milestone by milestone. So I will now be dependent on whether if we agree, even if we sign it, you may look up tomorrow and say that something happened and all my effort. So before I pick up the phone to do a research. Before I do anything, I have to pay 50% upfront. So that's why I said negotiation is successful is not when you agree with the price itself. It's when you've made the first deposit on my account. That's when work actually starts for me. And that's when negotiation is successful. So for negotiation to be successful, some people do split into three, some people split into months. But the problem I have with doing that is, right, I have very low trust with them. Except it's maybe the contract is ironclad, right? Like they can't wiggle out from it. But that's why I charge 50% upfront. Then you can do all the work that we agreed on till the last day, which is when I'm about to that you pay the remainder. So that's how I do. So I have something to work with, and it's a committed work. So I won't just go and do all the whole work. Stories will come at the end. So that's how a negotiation is successful.
Yes. Like, so the successful negotiations you have had, what like were the key factors that you think made them successful? Hi, before we get back into the pod, this podcast is sponsored by Nairoption. Now, Nairoption's so aim is informing young Nigerians about politics, startups, tech founders, stories of interesting Nigerian youths like you, maybe you, maybe you, maybe. However, they have a podcast and they also give out news about stock exchange. Now, I'm very serious about this because Nairoption is fun to read. They distill articles that are about stock exchange, market value, interesting political news that's happening for young Nigerians, to young Nigerians, by young Nigerians. And it's fun, check out their podcast and their Instagram handles to find out more information. But like, trust me, honestly, it is fun. Yeah, with that being said, let's get back into the pod.
So that means I have to list the steps. Are you ready for that now?
No, I'm not.
Those are the things that you have to. Those are the things that you have to do for it to be successful. Let me personalize it. So those are the things that I have to do for it to be successful. Because if I don't do those, it will not be successful. And even after doing those, it may still not be successful. There's no hard and fast. I've done not one project. I've done many projects with one person, and every project we go through these negotiation phases, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. The same person, I've done more than 4 and very, very expensive projects. But still, every time she comes back for us to do a project, we go over the whole thing. So it's not like she's telling me the amount and I'm agreeing immediately. No. So we go over the negotiation process again. So there's something about negotiate. When you negotiate, this goes beyond design now. When you negotiate, two things for the negotiation to be successful, two things have to happen. One, is that one party will feel that they have cheated. One party, in fact, both of them will believe that they left cheating to another person. That's how successful negotiation works. If one person feel that he or she is being cheated, that negotiation will fail.
Yeah.
So both of you at the ends of the table will believe that you cheated each other. That's how successful negotiation works. Even in the market, if you go to buy tomato in the market, that's the same thing. The tomato seller feel that she has cheated you. You feel like you've cheated you. You want to buy car, anything you want to buy. That's the negotiation works.
So
if you feel they are cheating you,
uh-huh.
you feel they are cheating you, you will not buy that.
So you will not
and
come back.
If he feels that you are cheating him, he will not. That's how negotiation works.
Now that's finding that borderline to know that okay, you are comfortable with this, and the person is comfortable with this is now the tricky thing.
You shouldn't care. That's what I'm saying. To list that, you can ask questions as well.
Let's go. List it. Let's go.
Okay. Okay. So the first thing I mentioned this earlier, when you know what you do, right? What they do, research them, know the kind of work they can have to what they are asking for. Because sometimes some people will come and say they want to do YouTube for their money. They want you to do something that will take Uber. So you look at the person first, understand, is he the person bringing the idea? Is there anybody behind him funding? Is there something already? Is this something that you be designing and they say they pay you equity or what have you? Then that's the first thing, to understand the client. That will start shaping your mind on the kind of thing you give the person, and the person will not cost you. But you don't care whether the person costs you or not. But I don't care whether you can take the project or not. And the second step is to understand your role and scope of the project. So if you understand your role in the project, you know what exactly you are doing. Because sometimes many people just, you say, I want to build this, you say, okay, you assume that the person understands your role, but you need to make sure you get what you are doing. Because in some projects, you may do just UI work. In projects, you are going to do UX work only. Some projects, you are going to do both. Some projects, you are going to do research. Some projects, you are going to get illustrations. There are a lot of things that you do in the project. So what is your role in that project? And what is the scope of the project? Is it just mobile application? Is it just web application? Is it just website? Are you just doing a particular section of the app? What are you doing? That will also help you to understand how to charge, how to negotiate. So that's and the third step is funding.
Please
do not give a price.
Okay.
Do not give a price immediately. So somebody can meet you and say, David, and I just want you to tell me, just on the top of your head, how much can you use to just even if you tell the person I want to look at it again, just say at all on the top of your head. I can never give a price like that. You cannot ask me. I used to do that, but I don't do that anymore. It puts you at a disadvantage because you don't understand. You've not done the first thing, so you don't understand what you will be doing in that work. Because it's easy to say you can use 500,000 to design this, or you can use 200,000 to design this, without understanding you thinking that you just do the one page. Let's say somebody came with an idea like Uber, and you say you are going to just do 100,000 can do it for design. Then when the work starts, the person may even give you the half of the money. And when the work starts, you now see that, oh, there's a driver module. Oh, there's a customer module. Oh, there's an admin module. Oh, there's even a super admin model. So you're not seeing that you're not seeing that it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You start being annoyed that they cheated you and that the price you gave was too small. And that's because you get pressure like to take just say now, just say just an estimate. You can change your amount. I would say just give me a day or two for me to make a research. I'll ask more questions. I can even set to understand why the role, the scope, the client, and the project. So that's why step 3 is very important. Do not give your price immediately. I think I've mentioned step 4. Step 4 is take extra meetings.
Okay.
Don't but this all this I'm mentioning is when you have a bit of higher experience, because many people are afraid. Even when I started, I was afraid of saying for more meetings. They will feel that asking questions actually, because they will feel that I don't know what I'm doing. But we'll talk about step 8. So we're in step 4. Take meetings, extra meetings. So this will help you to, if you like, when you are doing step 2, you're trying to understand your clients and your role and the scope, you can write out a list of questions that you can ask for that second. You can make it something short just to understand more. Then step 5 is the most important step. Name your price. In this step, you should not be afraid of losing the job. So why many people give a low price is because they feel, if I call this amount, in fact, they are looking inside the person's pocket. They're looking inside the client's pocket, right? They are guessing that so this person will not have this kind of money. I think you have 100,000. What if this 100,000? Anyway, let me give him 100,000. So you've already lowballed yourself. And when you give the person 100,000, okay, let's do it. You start feeling,
don't mess up.
this one that do you understand when I'm talking about cheating?
Yeah.
So you are feeling that you are cheating the person initially. When the person accepts it,
immediately,
you will not feel cheated. When in the real sense, nobody cheats and cheats them. That's what you want to. In fact, in negotiation, nobody cheats anybody. Forget all these things you are saying, except someone deceives someone, right? That one. But when you name your price with the information that you have, or the information that you chose to have, because sometimes you don't ask certain questions, and those answers, you don't ask for them. So you'll be saying they did not tell you this, while you do not ask of this. But that's why it's good to step if possible, to understand everything that there is.
okay.
And when giving your price, you should have if this that we agreed on changes, there will be extra costs. I think we'll talk about it more in step 6. For step 5, there's 2 in name of your price. There are 2 things. I've talked about 1. Do not be afraid of losing. The second thing is know what you want to take. You should know what you want to take. Is this not what you want to take? Is different from what you feel the job should be. So let's say there's a website and the website is already it's already, I want you to design it. I want you to do certain things, and in your mind you can say, okay, I can do this one. Can take 200 or 400,000. Great. So that's what you want to take. That's what, no matter what, and you should also not feel bad when they accept it immediately. So you should know that this is what I'm comfortable with collecting. Then you can now say, okay, since this is what I'm collecting, let me multiply that amount by 2.
Why are you multiplying it by 2?
In negotiation, you don't give directly. If you give your price directly, What it means is that that is not your price. Have you bought in the market before?
Yes.
How do you start? How do
So
you start negotiation?
if I go to the market now, they already pack my okay car. So I pay Alpha. This is what I want to buy. I'll first ask how much you want to sell. Then you'll be like, anything where you get. That's how they start out. Anything where you get, call your money, how much you get. And I'll be like, I don't get money, you just tell me now. So if they now be like, okay, 10,000 naira. So me, I'm like, thank you. I then divide it by two. So that 10K, then I'll start from like 4, 5 or 5,000. I'll be like, now 5,000 or now 4,005 I carry come. How much you could collect last. So that's my own process.
So now the reverse is the case, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are the one giving it. You will be shocked that the person could have sold that thing for 10K for 3K.
Why would you do
You'll be
that?
shocked.
Why would you not call 10K for me initially?
Exactly. So that's how negotiation works. And that's why you'll be surprised that you'll be feeling that you went to the market today and you cheated everybody. You cheated everybody because they tell you 10K, they later sold it for 5K. Or even if you go to all these people that used to sell watch on the other side, they'll tell you one big price.
Exactly.
Put it down. And the next thing they'll tell you, oh yeah, I gotta bring.
Exactly. I I bought something for that price.
And even in that 4-5, you will be cheated. Negotiation works in a way that both parties feel that they have cheated each other. And that's why your cost by 2. When you multiply your cost by 2, then this is also depending on who you are working with. If you work with someone for your own, you will understand how the person negotiates. The person will understand how you negotiate. So. But let's assume that it's the first time you're working with. You are comfortable with collecting this amount. You know the work is worth this amount. Your time is multiplied by 2 and give to the person. The person will negotiate. Because you're not giving, you will find very few people that you give a price and they will tell you that price is okay. Right? If the person still tells you the price is okay, wonderful.
Nice.
Wonderful. But if the person negotiates, the person can, you know that, okay, I'm willing to collect 200, but I'm giving the person 400. The person may start from 200. And once the person starts from 200, you're already gaining.
You're already in the advantage.
You get? So you're already gaining. And that's why that person sells that clothes. He's already gaining once you start from that amount. So every other thing other addition you are coming is a plus to him. So that's how you negotiate. That's how you name your price. You know what you want to take, then do this particular thing I mentioned. You may even end up taking, the person may even end up slicing it into 2. And the person will feel that he has cheated you. Because if he doesn't feel that he has cheated you, or he's giving you a fair price, negotiation cannot cross. He will still want to bring it down. Refuse it. So it's all about cheats. Feel cheat. It doesn't mean that the person is cheating. The person it's just that feeling that they have had one over this person. So the sixth step is 3, but like the main step is you should add extra that's not is not money. So there are some extra things that you can add in negotiation. This comes with talking about time frame for the project. So they say time and money. Time is really money. So you need to set the time frame for the project. So let's say 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or within 1 year. I say, okay, so this is the time for this. And we are going to divide everything that we want to do into this. If it passes this time, it involves extra. For every day that it passes this time, we are going to charge you. So let's say you even accept a lower offer. Say no wahala. I'll do it. Maybe you really need it, which I don't advise people to take work when they're that's me.
That's
But you really need
contradictory.
it.
That's very contradictory.
Exactly.
We'll talk about
I'm going to come. Yeah, I'm going to come to that. It's one of the steps.
Okay.
So, I agree for the time. Then stick to that time. The second thing in step two, the first one is set the time frame for the project. The second one is set the that will be added on that at that time. You have mentioned it. So you should have to set the amount that will be added every extra time.
Okay.
So set the amount. Another thing I can set is set the amount, the number of iterations. So I will make changes for this on a particular module for this particular period amount of times. So if I make changes, I can say this is maximum of 3 iterations. So any other thing that you bring in, some people will start without this. Some people will start bringing up things, maybe features that we are not discussed, that is not in scope, which is why I talked about understanding the scope of the project. So when you do all these things, you understand that extras that add to and note them down. Note the time that it takes extra. Make sure that the client knows this has passed our time, so our extra time has started count.
Yeah.
This has passed our iteration, so our extra iteration has started counting. You can choose to do freebie. I give you one extra, I do this. So the person is seeing it like this person is doing me a favor.
Not their work now.
So exactly. So most times when you don't state this and you are complaining, the person will say, is it not what you're supposed to do?
Yeah.
Right? Because you did not state it. But if you state it, the person will now be begging you. Right? The person will be like, I beg now, do this. Then you can now choose to say, okay, I'm doing it because of you.
Mm-hmm.
So you are changing the dynamics of the conversation. You're changing who has the power because you should be the one. At no time should you give the power to the client. Because when you give the power to the client, that's when you and treat you anyhow they went. They will say, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to add this, you have to add this. You need to take away that power from the beginning. If you don't take away that power, it's going to hurt you. Because whatever you do, it will keep adding work to yourself, both in time and situation. So that's step 6. Now, step 7. When negotiating, never go below your threshold.
That means you should have a threshold set in the first place.
Exactly. So if you remember, the second thing is know what you want to take. That is your threshold. Never go below it because you can say experience have shown that the cheapest work that you do is the most stressful work.
Yeah.
From my experience. So any work that you see yourself saying, let me pity this person and charge him lower, that work you should. So it's better you charge high. So if you are working, you look at the amount that you charge. You use it to keep yourself happy. Okay, at least I charge well for this one, right? So that's why I said never go below your threshold. So you know that at least I got what I'm worth.
Yeah.
And you should not be angry when you later found out that, oh, the budget of this work was 10 million. They gave me 200,000. You took 200,000 because you feel you are worth. You shouldn't be angry. And that for me, that's even it's not your money, right? There's money allocated for that project, right? But you negotiated lower. If someone doesn't want to, the person will tell you this is the amount for this job. I don't know how you get.
Yeah.
The person will tell you the amount for this job is this.
Yeah.
Is it good for you? Can you take it or not? Then you can say, okay, No, I can't take it. I can do this. So it's really the story to this is someone has met me before. This one is for job, um, employment. So we started from LinkedIn, talk and talk, set up a meeting, initial call, introductory meeting, had a meeting, introduced himself. They told me about the company and everything, told him about myself. He was like, okay, we're going to go to the next step. If I'm successful in the next, some tax or stuff. And I'm like, before we just start the next step, how much are you, is the budget for? Because that's a rule. So, and it's a lead role. So I didn't want to go further after something to use. And the next thing I hear is that they can't afford it. And what will now kick in is already putting this amount of, you already putting this your emotions are there, you already feel the new job and stuff. So that initial time, you should know what you want to collect. And so me asking them, but I think I did ask them, I think I yeah, I asked them for this thing, then they asked me what I wanted to collect. Told them. They now said if they can't get it, they said then we should not bother with subsequent interviews because I won't be able to do it. So the person said, okay, reach out to you. And like after 3 days, the person reached out to me that their they can't afford that amount. I'm like, that's fine. It was nice meeting you. So that's how you do it. You bring it up. You know what you want first. Then when you bring it up, in terms of interviews, better to ask first. So nobody will waste each other's time. And that's what I told him. Like, I don't want us to waste each other's time. So let's get it out of the box. Some people will now start telling you, I'm trying to do like this. Then you know that if you enter there, because sometimes we see the red flags from the beginning. So the last step.
Wait. Before we go there, let me ask some questions now, right? So I have a question here. In relating to what is, I have a question about power dynamic here. But before that, the question on when should the negotiation for money start? And should that differ from, what's it called? Talking to clients for projects or talking to clients or talking to companies for jobs. You just talked about they spoke to you and you told them about like before the interview, let's talk about the money. When should you start the negotiation, the money aspect? Is it after the interview, all of that, or after the talking of introducing you to the project they are doing, do everything that they are doing, before you now be like, okay, how much is it? Then you wasted like a week of back and forth, and then you may not now be happy with the amount. When is the right time? And is that different from a certain project and a company role?
Okay. For me, I'm telling you, other people may do it differently. I'm talking about mine.
Yeah.
It's different. So when I'm doing a gig, it's different from when I'm talking about. So employment is something that people that are working for day in, day out, month in, day in, after year after year, depending on how good they are. So my negotiation for a job that's not a good job really. The money talk starts from the first conversation. So but it's not what to once we just open the entire or what somebody example for the budget. No. If they reach out to me, I'll set up a meeting, right? Or even if I applied for the job. On that first meeting, after the whole introduction, after the whole interview, first interview,
Yeah.
I'll ask you for the budget or for the price So there's a side that they will tell you. You already know that. You just tell them that you can't take the offer. Even if it's given to you, you can't take it. So it will not even work from that early morning. You already know. You cut off. So spending your whole time on it. Then if it's for further negotiation, it's further negotiation. What I do is quite different. I understand what they are about to build. The other one, I already know the company. I will research them. I may not know deeply what their product is, but it doesn't matter because I'm working for them. They will pay me every month, and I've been working for them for long, so I'll use that time. But this one, I'm not working for them full time. It's a contract, and the contract has a time limit. So I'll charge according to that time. The other one, I'm negotiating for what I want every after series of interviews. So I'll give you lower or equal to what you are currently earning. It doesn't make sense. So from that, person tells you that particular amount, you already know that you tell them straight up that you're not going for it. Okay. No need to do that. So that will also take us to the 8th step. So be ready to lose it all. Be ready to lose it all. Because if you're not ready to lose it all, you will not get what you want. Let's say somebody wants to build a website, you negotiated, you told the person the price, the person says it's too high, yo. But let me see. The person keeps quiet. You're really saying, did I charge this person lower? The person kept quiet. 1 week, nothing. 2 weeks, you now went to the person's DM and say that you're willing to do it for this amount. You now reduce your price because you are hungry, you are broke, and you feel that if you don't do this, you will not get, you will not eat. Why the person did not reply you is not because he can't afford that money. Maybe the project is on pause. Maybe they even if your distance is higher, then the person will not tell you, "Oh, I forgot about this. Oh, yeah, let's do it." You now start saying, "Oh, the person even forgot about it. I thought it was because of the price I gave." You now start regretting. You already cut down your. Sometimes even if you cut down your price, they will not end up going with you. You hear that they ended up going, and the person paid the person higher than what you even.
That's paid.
So you're ready to lose it all, which takes us back to do not negotiate. No. It's ironic, but it's true. Because when you are broke, you tend to make irrational decisions. Even if you are broke and want to negotiate, you negotiate because you are broke. Be ready to lose it all. Be ready to go and not get that word. It's better you borrow money and eat than take a job of 10,000 and that job will keep you for 2 months, for 3 months, and be giving you high blood pressure. Because there's some work that you take, it will be better that you not take it. And when initially you are in you feel, I need this money. I want to use it to do this. You start planning what. But in the real sense of it, that money is not equivalent to your time. And once you take that job, you start regretting it from the time till when you finish the job, if you even finish the job. So that's why I'm a big advocate of don't take a job because you are broke. Because you are broke. You can be broke and take a job, but don't take it because you are broke, because you make a rubbish decision. And that decision, once you get that money, you will still be broke. Because that money will not enter your body. So those are the 8 steps that I use in a relationship.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So this is kind of a sidebar. Are you currently happy with your price range that you charge?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I feel it's okay. So let me tell you another story. You say I have a lot of stories. So there's a project right now that I was supposed to start. Person reached out. The project was supposed to be 3 weeks. Where it was supposed to be 3 weeks, and the person was like, "You need it to be very fast. This one, this time." I said, "Okay." What was the project about? Person is I get the person like because I don't give pricing like um I don't have a I have a pricing document. So I write down the things I will be doing for the project and price them based on that. I don't charge based on pages. Yes, we do charge based on pages, how many pages they work on. I don't charge like that. Even if it's 1 page, right? All the work that is going to go into that's how I charge. So you give person a price, person said no, negotiated, we got to a middle ground. Sometimes we don't even get to a middle ground. I just stay where I am. Person will stay where they are. That would be it. Then the person went dark. Didn't hear anything from the person. I didn't say anything. Really, the other thing I did was to ask the person that there's a time frame that you give for this. To do this my first, my order. I would do it and the person said the person she would get to you. That was it. Till now I've not heard from the person. I'm not assuming that it's because my price was high. Even if that's fine by me.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's fine by me. If you don't come, if the gig comes, fine. If it doesn't come, fine. And that's because I am comfortable enough with what I charge to lose it. I'm not running after. It's not because maybe I have this amount of experience. It's not because I am not in need of money. No. It's because I can't take a job that just will stress me and the money is not worth it. So to do one thing, the money will worth it.
So if you had to raise that bar, right, what would you be looking out for? Say, I have 1 more year experience adding to my portfolio. I think it's time I add an extra zero.
I wake up and add money. That's
You
why I
just wake up, anything that's of like this person is it that will increase this.
if or even if I go to the market and I I'll come back and increase my own price. That's how you increase price. You don't increase price because you are 10 years. I've told you before, people that are 10 years in experience can charge lower. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you do the best work. It doesn't mean that other people cannot do the work. It's just a charge, right? Or you can move to another country.
Okay.
You adjust your rate to the rate of the country.
Okay.
That's just how it is.
You mentioned in one of the steps, I think that was the sixth step of adding extra to everything. So this is calculating overhead cost. The extra you're adding, is it covering overhead cost or is just in case? So overhead cost like the money we spend on data because we do not calculate how much we spend on data on a project. And that can be huge. So we can spend like 30 gig on just maybe if, for example, now I do video editing and audio editing for like companies and individuals aside product design. I in my own position now, like say, okay, a company reach out to me or an individual reach out that they want to start their podcast and they need me to edit podcast or do video research on that. I don't calculate how much it takes me to upload audio to the cloud for them or them want to download audio. Is that something that you factor in? Like, how do you then calculate, okay, this is how much I've spent on this segment aside just the work itself?
You're leaving money on the table. That's what I would say. You're leaving money on the table. You shouldn't. Extra doesn't have to do with your data, the money you spend on the project. The money you spend on the project should be calculated to be added inside the cost of your project.
Okay.
Because as we said, you can choose to forgo the extras. You can say okay, I'll do more iterations, and they will say it as a favor. You can't tell somebody that you can choose to pay. So that amount should be added to your your charge, your main charge. Any money that is crucial for your work to be done needs to be in that initial charge. So for me, I already know what data I use. I already know any project I'm doing will not use it. So, but I'm still charging it inside the main work. So everything I do will be added inside it. My time, my resources, things, except the additional stuff that I have to do. Maybe buy something to test in this place and this place. In research phase, maybe I have to take a loan, or let's say I have to buy something to test their flow. All those things, right? I'll add all those things in the research. So that break down my billing. So even you can break down your own and say data. I break it down, research, UI, inside UI, all those things. Then I'll have a price affixed for each of them. So all those things is added to it.
Okay, so compensation. Do you ask for compensation outside your money value that you have given? How do you ask for that?
You should. So compensation. When you talk about compensation, what?
So compensation, like if they are offering you anything outside money, let's say they offer you certain amounts and they be like, okay, or you want something else within the company. When do you ask for that? This is within like a job role now or probably a startup.
If it's a job role, they're offering other things. You ask it, they will tell you from the beginning, or after you have at the last, if you pass the interview, but there are something that should be non-negotiable for you, just like health plan, just like pension. Understanding, making it clear that your price is net, not gross.
Okay.
Some companies use this to deceive some people. Maybe say you're paying 100,000, and that 100,000 is gross. And when they remove your pension, remove your HMO, the money has. So you need to make sure to let them know that what you are talking about is not gross.
Okay. Okay, awesome. So
all those comes after they have agreed the price on the first one, the salary, on the first one. Then later, in the last after you've passed, when they're about to finish the last stage, you ask for those things.
Okay, thank you so much. I have one more question. I was very dark here. I have one more question, and that's my last question, and it is in the area of power dynamics, right? So now, the power dynamics and imbalances that may exist in negotiation, such as when they're dealing with clients who have more bargaining power. Now, in your own position, if I was to bargain with you on a project, how should I beat you? Like, how should I take over that power dynamic from you, knowing that you have this lot of experience and you have just so much, to offer?
Sorry, I'll mention again, it doesn't have to do with experience. You can't win it if you don't have a higher negotiating power. There are things you say during negotiation. There are things you do. There are things you don't do. And those things are things that will keep you in power. Right? It's not about experience. Somebody can be a professional, but is a novice in negotiation. Right? So it doesn't matter how good you are in your job. If you can't negotiate. So you can't just come and say you want to take over negotiating power and so win the power dynamics in negotiation. It doesn't work like that, right? I can tell you, okay, I'm charging you 10 million for this. You'll be like, This is too high. I'll be like, okay, I've worked for you for how many days now? I've worked for you this. We've worked together here. We've worked together here. So I'll do you a favor. How much do you want to pay? Remember, I've said something in the person's mind. 10 million. We will negotiate based on what I've said. When you go to the market and the person tells you that you're negotiating based on, so you're taking your first price from the initial one that the person gave you. So your heart will be telling you, if I tell this person, if the person says 10,000, if I tell this person 2,000, now the person will laugh me out of the shop. So you start somewhere, exactly. So you start somewhere like 4,000, 5,000, right? The person will not tell you, you try, but it will not go. You now start coming up. Person will start coming down, start coming up. Person will start. So you will get to somewhere, maybe 500 naira between the two. You will now start dragging. The person may leave that 100 naira for you, and you'll be happy that he cheated the person. The person will be happy that he cheated you. That's how it goes. So the power is the person that knows how to negotiate well. There are some things that he will be saying, or you'll be saying, to make the other person feel as if the person is cheating you. If you can get that, then you've won them. Even if it doesn't go well, even if it later didn't work out, that's fine. Every project must not work out. In fact, if you apply for a project, there's a possibility that all of them will not work out.
Yeah.
There's a possibility that there's only one that will work out of 100.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't feel bad, you can start blaming yourself and start charging lower, saying that maybe because I'm charging higher, that's why I'm not getting work. No, that's not why you're not getting work. Yes, even if the person goes to a lower person, the person that charges lower. That doesn't. I tell people that I need people to be charging lower. If not, people that want to pay lower will be coming to me.
So they should be going to them.
If I have someone that will want to pay lower, I'll send it to those people that can collect. It's not a bad thing. That's how business works. Then they will be happy that they are getting people. Me, I'll be happy that then when my own kind of customer, they may not be many.
Mm-hmm.
They will not be many. But when I get them, I'm happy.
Awesome. I've taken notes I myself. I'm sure people listening, have got one or two. So that right now, that comes to the end. I don't want to spend too much of your time because I know you're really busy. I really, really appreciate you sitting down with me for this episode. It's really nice to have you here. There's something I do. It would be nice to see you at UDC. So I give all my guests merch. So there's a Not Just Design merch assigned to all my guests. So if I get to see you UDC, you're in Lagos, right? Just guessing. I'll find a way to get a merch to you, one way or the other. Through David to somebody. Yeah. So have a nice day, Soph. Yeah. Bye.